Hey guys, 53 Mordor here. I'd just like to talk a little bit about the YouTube Garage Gang. What a great bunch of guys. So glad I discovered you guys. I think I first discovered R. Peak. What a character, I'll tell you. When he was building his rat rod, that's what got me interested. And then I discovered 63 Impala. Quite a character. It's really great to see a bunch of guys living in different states come together, and it's like you guys are there for each other all the time, which is really neat. You don't see too much of that today, unfortunately. I'm still a little shy getting in front of the camera. I can't get as comfortable as R. Peak and 63 Impala just yet. And I don't really have a whole lot to talk about just yet. My old Chev, it's in hibernation for the winter. Yeah, the Chev, it's, like I said, it's a car that I didn't really want in the beginning. I took the car in trade for a 1937 Nash Lafayette I had for 15 years, and I drove the car and drove it and drove it, and coming back from Syracuse, New York, one of the big Good Guys events, the engine started to knock. Anyway, it got me home, and I pulled the engine and transmission out and put the car in storage. And after 5 years of storage, everything that could live in it did, and just destroyed the car. Anyway, I took it out of storage and I cleaned it up, and I kind of lost interest in it. And out of the blue, a friend of mine calls and says he had bought this 53 Chev. Would I be interested in trading? So I went down and looked at it. A lot of parts were stolen off the car. It only had 58,000 miles on it when I got it. But I guess because of the mileage, a lot of the rare pieces, they're hard to find pieces, were stolen. The grill, the hood, the rims and tires, and a bunch of odds and ends, radio. Anyway, this guy bought the car and he really wanted the Nash, so I looked at the car and I thought, maybe I can tidy it up and sell it, make some money on it. So I did the deal. I traded, brought the car home, cleaned it up, and I couldn't get rid of it. Nobody wanted it because it's a four-door. So I started driving the car, and the more I drove it, the more I enjoyed it, and the more I liked it, and I just ended up keeping it. And I've had it 6 years now. It's actually been a really good car. It's the 150 model, which is the bare bones taxi special. It doesn't have a lot going for it. If it was a Bel Air, it'd be cool, but it's not. But the car, it's a weird car. It's got a lot of, whoever bought the car new, loaded it up with a few options. It's got two-tone paint, which I'm told is rare. The paint on the roof is original. The body has been painted once. It's got tinted glass, which is weird. Radio. Cloth seats. Deluxe heater. Window washers. Backup lights. A lot of weird little options that your 150 doesn't really come with. And also this one has the 235. It didn't come with the 216. Which is one of the reasons I decided to keep the car. The 216, Babbitt pounder. Anyway, I put I don't know, 3,500 miles on it roughly. It's never let me down. It's always got me home. But hopefully this winter, the plan is we're going to make it a little more user friendly. I have a small block Chevy 283 rebuilt turbo 350 automatic and a 10 volt posi differential out of a Camaro, and hopefully this winter, all goes well, we'll do the engine swap. I have 2 artificial hips, which it's a little tiring. The 3-speed non-synchro mesh transmission after a while wears thin. The car runs great, but you're limited to where you can go with it. At 60 miles an hour, it's pretty maxed out, and we like to do a lot of highway driving, long distance cruises, a lot of US car shows, which are great. So the 6-cylinder just doesn't cut it. So a friend of mine has offered to take the engine and transmission and differential, and he's in trade. He's going to metal flake the roof for me, which I thought would be kind of cool, be different. So hopefully it's going to get a 283 automatic and a different rear end, and I'm shooting for 4-wheel disc brakes, help it stop a little better. Everybody asks why a 283 when there's so many crate motors and LS motors and all that out there. Well, that's cool, that's great. Cost is one. I don't know in your area if you've had trouble with the law with crate motors. Around here it's kind of a random thing. We've been I personally haven't had it happen yet, but I know I have friends who it's happened to. They've been pulled over, and one guy actually went home with $3,500 worth of tickets for not having all the pollution equipment on his car compatible to the engine that was in the car. I figured a 283, mine's a 67 vintage. It didn't have any pollution except it didn't even have a PCV valve. I installed that. It had a downdraft tube. So I installed the PCV valve, and hopefully if I do the engine swap and I get pulled over, there shouldn't be any problems. You have to be able to verify the year of the engine, and you have to whatever pollution equipment that came on that engine has to be on the car, catalytic converters, all that stuff. So that was my reason for going with the 283, and they're cool. I like them. They're a great old engine, and it's kind of a nostalgia thing. So that's the plan. A friend of mine has offered me a shop to do the work, but we've been working on his car, one of his cars, for the last 3 years, and I kind of wanted to finish up his car before I tore mine apart. So it all depends on finishing up his car. Hopefully I'll take you down to the shop and I'll show you what we've been working on for the last 3 years. Just a bunch of old farts farting around. We've been building a 1949 Ford Club Coupe, turned it into a gasser. It's got Hillborn fuel injection, pie crust cheater slicks. It's got all the good stuff. Nosebleed stance, moon tank, all the good stuff. And I'll take you down, I'll show you the car. It's pretty cool. And it's the reason it's taken 3 years is because it's we work on the car 1 day a year, or 1 day a week, I'm sorry, which is usually Saturday. Larry owns the shop. He runs a business, and it's pretty hard to work on your toys and run a business all at once. So Saturday we sort of get together and build cars. We've done 3 or 4 cars this way. We built a 63 Corvette Grand Sport, imitation Grand Sport. We built a 73 Challenger, Dodge Challenger with a 440 in it. Built my buddy's 31 Model A with a 322 Buick Nailhead motor in it. We're doing the 49 Ford Coupe. We started a 40 Ford pickup, which sort of got pushed aside. I'll show you that one too. And well, hopefully my Chev will get in there eventually. But it's my car still running, so if it gets done this year, it does. It doesn't, no big deal. Anyway, the YouTube Garage Gang, I think, is really cool. You guys are, it's nice to see people out there that still have an interest in this stuff. In this area where we live, it's it used to be a good car area. It seems a lot of the guys have either moved away or died, and sometimes you feel like a lone wolf. It's like you're in the way. Sometimes it gets a little depressing. You don't even want to take the car out because, I don't know, it's just not fun sometimes. But anyway, there's still a handful of us left. We'll keep fighting. It's great that I enjoy watching you guys, to see everybody else's interest. Everybody has different interests, which is, I find interesting. It's really great. Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's cool, and keep up the good work, guys. I hope I'm accepted as part of your gang. Hopefully I get I get a little more comfortable behind the camera, and hopefully I'll find some interesting stuff for you guys to look at. So thanks again. Bye for now. Talk to you later.